Palestinians have been killed by Israel in just the last 4 or 5 weeks. So a little later we will be reading aloud names and ages of the children killed in Gaza, and this is part of a sustained series of vigils, protests and marches here in Newcastle and around the country in solidarity with the Palestinians, where we are saying there must be an immediate and total ceasefire. There must be a lifting of the inhumane and destructive blockade, the siege on Gaza that has caused so much misery and devastation over the last 8 years, and an end to the injustices for the Palestinians, the occupation of their land, the building of the separation wall, the expansion of illegal settlements, the endless, ceaseless violations.
Here's a lovely little girl who says, "Leave the children alone."
Wants to take one of those things, Free Palestine,
Mom,
siege on Gaza.
did she decide on this letter herself?
She did, she wrote it herself.
Tell us about what's her name and what does she do?
Isabella is 6 years old.
She's
6 years old.
Wow.
And she's been very upset to hear about the children that have been killed
So should we
in
all
Gaza,
be.
as are we all.
Thank God somebody's
So
upset.
she's written a letter today to tell the children that she won't forget them and tell the world to leave the children alone.
Hello.
And nearly 2,000 Palestinians have been massacred, and many more made homeless, many more injured, and when there are nearly 400 children, Palestinian children in Gaza, who have been killed.
This is nearly 2-3 weeks on. The agony continues for the people in Gaza, and it will continue until the brutal siege is lifted. We have to keep remembering them. We have to keep trying to make sure that Gaza is at the top of people's agenda, but to remember the bigger picture, and that is the plight of the Palestinians, who've been brutalized and oppressed for more than 7 decades now. 2,000 innocent people who are dead simply because of where they lived.
Free Palestine!
Thank you, Yvonne Ridley. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you.
Michael wrote this in response to Israel banning a radio advertisement listing the names of children killed in Gaza. Don't mention the children. Don't name the dead children. The people must not know the names of the dead children. The names of the children must be hidden. The children must be nameless. The children must leave this world having no names. No one must know the names of the dead children. No one must say the names of the dead children. No one must even think that the children have names. People must understand that it would be dangerous to know the names of the children. The people must be protected from knowing the names of the children. The names of the children could spread like wildfire. The people would not be safe if they knew the names of the children. Don't name the dead children. Don't remember the dead children. Don't think of the dead children. Don't say dead children.
Suraj Ayad Abed, 8 years old. Mohammed Ayam Ashol, 15 years old. Hussein Youssef Kawar, 13 years old. Basim Salim Kawar, 10 years old. Musa Habib, 16 years old. who was killed along with his 22-year-old cousin on a motorcycle. Alman Al-Mahdi, 16 years old. Dunya Mehdi Hamad, 16 years old. Mohammed Arif, 13 years old. Amir Arif, 10 years old. Mohammed Malakai, 18 months old.
Jawdi Abdel Ghaffur, an 18-month-old girl. Mariam Atia Muhammad Al-Arja, 11 years old. Fatima Mahmoud Al-Hajj, 12 years old. Abdullah Ramadan Abu Bazzar, 5 years old, killed in a bombing in Beit Lahia. Yasmin Mohammed Matarak, 4 years old, killed in a bombing in Beit Hanun. Bassem Abdul Rahman Khattab, 6 years old, killed in a bombing in Deir al-Bala.
Kasi Islam Al-Baktash, 12 years old. Mana Majid Al-Baktash, 14 years old. Anas Allah Al-Baktash, 10 years old. Hussam Ibrahim Al-Najar, 14 years old. Sarah Umar Sheikh Al-Idi, 4 years old. Kamal Yusuf Abu Taha, 16 years old. Ibrahim Ramadan Hassan Abu Dak, 10 years old. Ahmed Atef Bakr, 10 years old.
Muhammad Salim Natif, 4, was killed in Gaza City. Muhammad Shadi Natif, 15 years old, was killed in Gaza City. Paris Jumar al-Mahroum, 5 months old, was killed in Raqqa. Wala Abu Ismail Muslim, 12, was killed in Abraj al-Nada. Sami Naim Abu Jarad, 1. Musa Abdul Rahman Abu Jarad, 6. Amjad Salim Shah, 15. Wissam Reda Sadiya, 15 years old.
Mohammed Zayed Al-Rahil, 6 years old, was killed in Beit Lahia. Ruwa Mahmoud Al-Zawadi, 6, killed in Beit Lahia. Nadam Mahmoud Al-Zawadi, 2, killed in Beit Lahia. Amir Hamouda, 7, was killed in Beit Lahia. Mahmoud Anwar Abu Shabab, 16, was killed in Raqqa. Mohammed Khalil Amr, 13, was killed in Al-Shujaya. Rahaf Akram Ismail Abu Jamal, 4 years old, was killed in Al-Shujaya. Saki Hassan Akram Al-Haq, 4 years old, was killed in Al-Shujaya. Samia Hamid Mahmoud Al-Sheikh Khalid, 3 years old, was killed in Al-Shujaya. Shadi Zayed Hassan Astin, 15 years old, was killed in Al-Shujaya. Asil Khalil Abid Amar, 4 years old, was killed in Al-Shujaya. Ola Zayed Hassan Aslin, 11 years old, was killed in Al-Shujaya.
Hiba Hamid Mohammed Al-Sheikh Khalil, age 13, was killed in Al-Shujaya. Mohammed Ayman Al-Shia, aged 5, was killed in Khan Yunis. Hibatullah Akram Al-Shia, aged 7, was killed in Khan Yunis. Shaban Jamil Zadaya, aged 12. Abdullah Yusuf Dirashi, aged 3.
Tib Al-Kalhani, aged 11. Rim Ibrahim, Tib Al-Kalani, aged 12. Yasin Ibrahim, Tib Al-Kalani, aged 9. Mona Rami Al-Kawat, aged 12, aged 4. Rawan Zaid Haj, aged 15. Noor Al-Aslam Abu Hawasil, aged 12. Jani Rami Yasa Al-Bukata, aged 2. Salma Al-Riyad, aged 2. Aman Adab Yusuf Al-Haji Ahmed, age 16.
Aged 1.
Abdul Hadi Abdul Hamid Abdul Nabi, age 2. He was killed in northern Gaza. Badr Hamid Qudai, age 13. Amir Adil Sayam, age 9. He was killed in Rafah. Amir Adil Sayam, age 13, also killed in Rafah. Mahmoud Jamad Awad Abdi, age 12, was killed in Khan Yunis. Ashraf Ibrahim Hassan Al-Najjar, age 13.
Yara Abdul Salam Al-Farah, age 8. Ibrahim Al-Masri, age 6, was killed in the Rafah massacre. Mohammed Anas Arafat, 4 months, was killed in the Rafah massacre. Anas Ibrahim Hamad, age 5, was killed in the Rafah massacre.
Sama Nail Al-Barawi, 8 months, was killed in Beit Lahia. Fayez Tariq Yassin, 16. Ahmed Wissam Obi, 4. Asil Shaban Rai, 3, was killed in Rafah. Rawan Nashat Saeed, 12. Uday Rafat Zuarab, 7. Shahid Rafat Zuarab, 10. Khalid Rafat Zuarab, 8. Malik Al-Ghul, 5. Mustafa Al-Ghul, Malik's 24 days.
This is a poem written by Khalid Juma, a Palestinian poet from Gaza. Oh, rascal children of Gaza, you who constantly disturb me with your screams under my window, you who filled every morning with rush and chaos, you who broke my vase and stole the lonely flower on my balcony, come back and scream as you want. Break all the vases, steal all the flowers, come back, just come back.
This is called Reality Check. The last straw, the short straw. Rip that hiss out of history, serpents like Israel, full of bombs in his story. The media can't tell good stories of venom rights in newspapers. They slay peacemakers instead of haters, cause they preach bombs instead of paper mache. Spitting out of straws, they call it violence cause they're scared of death. See when the young stone throws a bulldozer and you cry to mama media, making bodies out of moleholes, your fear of death makes me laugh stone cold. You're too wrapped in money blankets to know you're gonna grow a mansion in hellfire, yeah, God knows. He watched you sanitize your hands of Palestinian bloodbaths at the stove. I rinse my mouth clean, sweep the streets, watch your clay bodies remanufacture of the day. When God brings your neck, your soul's on fire, and the Palestinians are gold. Fake faces, face pain, and a pious praises, saving graces. But the heart's blistering increased as foes of two-faced, as flat falling on the tongues tie like serpents breathing through backstabbing and screaming. Judgment day flames like dragons out of dens, and $100 bills carve your face. Chases after plastic money, playing tag. You're it, and the Palestinian did it, not me, not the daggers of my symbolism. 6-point stars, piercing arrogance, tearing through flesh, bones and bombs, falling in numbers, not people. The media is not people. Go watch read from screens, brainwashed and seizures. Let the lipid flow kill me before I die, ripping you to shreds, and I see you rot at heaven's gate while they cross it. God calls for ceasefire, Hamas drops the straws, drops the burn, falls as non-such to the Lord. Pharaoh's clan pulled the short straw, the chosen ones chose the wrong one. Now when this ceasefire, fire seizes the soul, now they R.I.P. Roast and pain, judgment day was near. Baqarah 11 was a sign, but their occupation occupied them, and they died each time they killed a Palestinian. Now I say this to my worst enemy, but my worst enemy went too far. So I'll forever hold my peace while my soul makes dua. I'm done.
and gives it them. We will keep demonstrating for Palestine, not only until this assault on Gaza is completely finished and there's a
Free, free, Palestine! Free, free, Palestine! Free, free, Palestine! Free, free, Palestine! Free, free!
People of Newcastle, I just want to say, it is amazing to see us out again supporting the people of Gaza, and there is nothing the racists can do to stop us. No way! No way! We've seen racism and apartheid in this world before. We've seen it in South Africa. However, many leading South Africans confirm that the oppression the Palestinians are facing is far more worse than what the black South Africans faced. The black South Africans had a large working class, which was instrumental in their liberation. However, the Palestinians are in a much more fragile state, and that is why it is more important for us, the people here and around the world, to unite in solidarity with all Palestinian people and all oppressed people around the world. And that's all I've got to say. Thank you.
It reminds me that as Nelson Mandela said, our freedom is incomplete until the Palestinians are free. He was right about that. Another great campaigner against racism, against apartheid, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, great anti-apartheid campaigner, has himself said that the Palestinians suffer. Their discrimination, their oppression is even worse, he says, than the black South Africans under apartheid. But it also reminds us, when we think about the anti-apartheid struggle, that this can be defeated. And a mass movement, not only of the Palestinians themselves, but a mass global movement of solidarity can make things change.
I'm here again today, not because I'm Christian, not because I've got friends who are Muslims and friends who are Jewish. I'm here as a human being, in solidarity with other human beings. Here to speak out for people who have no voice of their own, who are oppressed. I'm here because while one person suffers in one part of the world, as we only live in one world, I suffer also. And I share their pain. And I weep for them. I am sorry that there are human beings who want to outshout us and outshout when we're naming the dead. As has been said before, each of those people killed had a name and had people who cared for them and loved them. We're here to remember them. And while we remember them, let us remember the bigger picture, that the people in Gaza are suffering because of greed and colonialism and racism and Zionism. I am here standing in solidarity, as are you, with those who suffer. And I pray that one day we will live in a world of justice, where everybody matters, and not just those who are friends of America, where everybody is important, and not just those with money and weapons. Let us hope that the next time we come together, it is to rejoice that the occupation has ended, that the ceasefire will continue, that the borders of Gaza are open, and the people who are in Gaza, who've been refugees for so long, will be free. Amen.
Thank you.
The most precious gift that any of us can have is the gift of a child. And tonight we're here to remember particularly the children, those precious gifts that have been taken away from so many people in Gaza, with not a peep, not a word, not a scintilla of condemnation from our Prime Minister, David Cameron. As I came here this evening, I passed through Newcastle, and as in any city, I found it in nooks and crannies. There were war memorials, as there are in every city around this country, in every village, in every town. These war memorials are there for us to remember the wars, but also to remember the horror of war, and hopefully to make sure it doesn't happen. But unfortunately our government doesn't seem to be doing enough to condemn the war. So we need to continue what we've been doing. The campaign must continue, even though it will slip down the news agendas. So keep getting on to your MPs and keep protesting. I'm going to read, just to finish, something that is for a little boy, Mohammed Ramazbaka, who was 11 years old when he was killed on the beach in Gaza on July the 16th. This is a song for Gaza, written by Leon Russellson, and it's called The Ballad of Rivka and Mohammed. I was watching the news from Gaza and fell asleep on my chair. And when I awoke from my slumber, a young girl was standing there. She said, "My name is Rivka. They killed me because I'm a Jew. I died in the ghetto at Vilna in 1942. The ghetto was like a prison. They wouldn't allow us to leave. Some said they were going to kill us all. We didn't know what to believe. That day I wore my new red dress my Bubba had made for me. And in that crowded ghetto, it made me feel proud and free. I looked up at the soldier. I looked him in the eye. I forgot to bow my head down, and so I had to die. He smashed my head with his rifle because I was too bold. I was killed in the Vilna ghetto when I was 7 years old. And then out of the darkness, a young boy's gaze met mine. He said, "My name is Mohammed. My country is Palestine. I've lived all my life in Gaza, and the only time I feel free is when I go down to the harbour and feel the wind from the sea." That day I went down with my cousins. We ran to the beach to play. Then the soldier fired in a shell at me and blew my life away. They want to crush our spirits. They want us to be afraid. Locked up in the prison of Gaza, the prison that they have made. To them our lives don't matter. They force us to live in a cage. I was killed on the beach in Gaza at 11 years of age. They don't think that we deserve our freedom or belong to the human race. "Mohammed, my brother," said Rivka, "this world is a cold, cold place. Mohammed, my friend, my brother, let us leave this world of war." Then each took the hand of the other, and then they were seen no more. But I saw spokesmen and politicians lining up to speechify, and every word was a hypocrite, and every word was a lie. I saw children still being slaughtered. The monster must have its fill, while the hands with power sat on their hands and supplied the weapons that kill. I weep for the people of Gaza, and they are weeping still, and I curse the ones who did nothing and enabled the monster to kill. Thank you.
protests and marches here in Newcastle and around the country in solidarity with the Palestinians, where we are saying there must be an immediate and total ceasefire. There must be a lifting of the inhumane and destructive blockade, the siege on Gaza that has caused so much misery and devastation over the last 8 years, and an end to the injustices for the Palestinians, the occupation of their land, the building of the separation.
In 7 decades now, 2,000 innocent people who are dead simply because of where they lived.
Free Palestine!
Thank you, Yvonne Ridley. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you.
Michael wrote this in response to Israel banning a radio advertisement listing the names of children killed in Gaza. Don't mention the children. Don't name the dead children. The people must not know the names of the dead children. The names of the children must be hidden. The children must...
Nearly 2,000 Palestinians have been massacred and many more made homeless, many more injured, and when there are nearly 400 children, Palestinian children in Gaza, who have been killed.
This is nearly 2-3 weeks on. The agony continues for the people in Gaza, and it will continue until the brutal siege is lifted. We have to keep remembering them. We have to keep trying to make sure that Gaza is at the top of people's agenda, but to remember the bigger picture, and that is the plight of the Palestinians who've been brutalized and oppressed for more than
Nearly 2,000 Palestinians have been killed by Israel in just the last 4 or 5 weeks. So a little later we will be reading aloud names and ages of the children killed in Gaza. And this war, the expansion of illegal settlements, the endless, ceaseless violations.
He has a lovely little girl who says, "Leave the children alone."
Who wants to take one of those things, Free Palestine,
Mom,
siege on Gaza?
did she decide on this letter herself?
She wrote it herself.
Tell us about what's her name and what does she do?
Isabella is 6 years old. She's 6 years old.
Wow.
And she's been very upset to hear about the children that have been killed
So should we
in
all
Gaza,
be?
as are we
Thank God for that.
all.
Thank God somebody's
So
upset.
she's written a letter today to tell the children that she won't forget them and tell the world to leave the children alone.
Hello.
Like I'm gonna like